So today I'm talking about secret for happiness. There are many secrets for happiness, but I thought to share this one. And it says, do not dwell on how people you cared about mishandled or mistreated you. For every time you think of it, your action towards them changes, bringing you one step closer to dysfunction. So, pretty much, this is it, okay? Stop dwelling on the past. It is easier said than done. Stop dwelling on the past. I want you to understand that we are relational creatures, okay? We are relational creatures. And because we are relational creatures, we depend on each other to survive. We depend on each other to keep going. We depend on each other to be motivated. That's how we were designed. That's how we were built. And because we are relational creatures, it is impossible for you to be in a relationship with people and not be hurt. It is very impossible for you to be in a relationship with yourself and not be hurt, because seeing too much of yourself, you would not like it. That's just what it is. Okay, it is impossible for us to be in relationship with the people around us and not be hurt, because we are different. The reason why it is impossible is because we're different. We have different cultures, we have different worldview, we have different traditions, we have different, methods of doing things. We have different upbringings, we have different belief systems, we have different ways of dealing with things, we have different ways of handling things, we have different ways of responding to things. We are different, and because we are different, we are bound to hurt each other. But the question remains, how do we maintain a healthy relationship after the hurt? How do we maintain a good relationship after the mistreatment? How can we continue to survive? How can we continue to support each other? How can we continue to strive? How can we continue, to build each other? How can we continue to move forward after the hurt, after the disappointment, after the mistreatment, after the mishandlement, after the unfairness, after the injustice, after the damage, after the bruise? How can we continue to move forward? We can only continue to move forward and be healthy and live a healthy lives if we stop dwelling on the past and what has happened. Because you see, every time you dwell on the past and the things that have been done to you, it changes you. Because you will feel like something was taken away from you. You will feel like you got a treatment from somebody that you cared about, somebody that you loved, and you did not deserve that. You will feel like you were misused, and because of that, every time those feelings pop up, what it does, it puts you in a mood where you are ready to retaliate. And if you're not careful, you will retaliate. And how will you retaliate? You will get into a mood that is not pleasant for the other person. You will become, moody, or, you have full-on attitude, or your response change, or your action towards them change, because you are in that space of negativity where you are still holding on and reflecting on what the other person did to you. Let me give you an example. A few years back in my house, I was in the kitchen washing the dishes, and the person who wronged me was present. And I was washing the dishes, and believe me, I was listening to music. I was very happy, I was bright, I was in a good mood, in a positive mood, listening to music and singing along. And then for a moment, I drifted into that negative space. And believe me when I say I was only there for 30 seconds. I drifted into that negative space for 30 seconds. And within that 30 seconds, I felt like something has taken over me. Within that 30 seconds, I went back thinking about how this person had hurt me, all the things they've done, all the wrong they've done. Like, I didn't even get a proper apology from them, how they mishandled me, how they misused me, how they've taken advantage of me. And when I was thinking about all these things, all of a sudden, instantly, my mood change. You know, it's like something took over my face. You know, my face all of a sudden switched from happy singing to I am ready for you. Full on, I went into that retaliation mode. I was ready for blood. I was ready to retaliate. All of a sudden, attitude took over me. And you know what? I realized that something has happened. A complete different spirit took over me that wasn't a healthy spirit. And when I realized that something had taken over me, I all of a sudden snapped out of it. But how many people have the ability to snap out of that negative space when they go into it? Not many. And do you think that you will be able to maintain healthy relationships around you when you keep dwelling on the past, when you keep going back into that 30 second of negativity, when you keep going back into that, negative space, even for 30 seconds, you think you will be able to maintain healthy relationships? No, you will not. Because you've been in that negative space for as little as 30 seconds changes you, and it ruins everything that you have going. It ruins the good moments that is happening presently. It ruins the good time that is happening. It ruins everything. And all of a sudden, something else will take over you. A negative spirit will take over you. Retaliation will take over you. You'll be ready for blood. So my encouragement for you is, if you want to keep the relationships around you, good relationships around you, and make sure they're healthy and they are, fruitful, you must pull yourself out of that negative space by, not dwelling on how you were mistreated or mishandled.